Hello everyone. Today we'll start further about financial management concepts. In the last class, we have studied about what do you understand by financial system, what do you understand by financial markets, types of markets, primary market, secondary market, money market, capital market. Likewise, today we are going to discuss another important concept of financial management, and that is the approaches to finance. There are basically two approaches to finance. One is called as traditional approach to finance, and the other one is called as modern approach to finance. So one by one, we'll discuss both of them. See, traditional approach to finance is also known as corporate finance approach. It is here where the word financial management was used to describe the word corporate finance. That means initially in during 1920s and 1930s, the word corporate finance was considered as synonym to financial management. That means management was understood just as the management of finances related to the corporation or the organization. Beyond that, there was no financial management. That means what? That means if personal finance is considered, then it was not considered as part of corporation finance or financial management. Behavioral finance again was not considered as a part of financial management. So uh, here what we understand is that in finance or financial management had a limited scope during the traditional times. The scope of finance function is confined to only procurement of fund needed by the business on most suitable terms. That means, as per traditional approach, the financial management or the financial function performed by the owner of the organization was related to one thing only, and that was like if organization needed fund, so what are the sources from which the funds can be raised in most suitable terms favoring organization. That means maybe on the minimum interest. The traditional approach to the scope and function of finance has now been discarded as it suffers from serious limitations. It is no more a valid approach because finance or financial management is broader in context. Like, why it is discarded or what are the limitations of this approach? First limitation, as we understand this, it is outsider looking approach that completely ignores internal decision making as to the proper utilization of fund. What does it mean? It means that traditional approach was just considered as the approach wherein the function of financial management or function of finance is just to procure fund. Amount is not defined, then the utilization part of fund, that is efficient utilization of fund, is totally ignored. Further, it also ignored internal decision making. That means what? It was the total prerogative of the owner of the organization to make decision regarding procurement of fund. No consultation, no internal discussion within the organization was made to procure fund as well as to utilize fund. Then the second limitation it had was on procurement of long-term funds. Thus, it ignored the important issue of working capital finance and management. See, this is the major drawback because this traditional approach, it is concerned only with the procurement of fund, and the owner of the organization or head of the organization basically focused on the procurement of long-term funds so that in one go only the requirements of fund of the organizations are fulfilled. Whether the fund is required for shorter duration or for longer duration, whatever be the case, no internal decision was there, no scanning was there whether the fund is required for a shorter duration or for longer duration. Whatever be the case, only one thing was there, it was like procurement of fund. Only motive was procurement of fund, and that too on a longer term basis. That means the other way what we can think is like the owner or the head of the organization, it was least concerned with the working capital finance or management. That means working capital was not a big deal for them. It was only a small only a small issue for the organization. And what heads used to say think was, once the funds are procured, they can be utilized for all the purposes. Here we should understand that the time value of money, the cost of capital, that means cost of raising fund, nothing is considered. Then the other limitation is the issue of allocation of funds, which is important today, is completely ignored. That means efficient utilization of fund. How much fund to which category of work? How much fund on the priority work? No such decision is made, or no such decision was made. See, this is very important part of the finance. And the traditional approach to the finance did what? Did nothing. It just focus on the allocation of fund. Sorry, not on the allocation of the fund. It just focus on the procurement of the fund and ignore the allocation of the fund. Then the other drawback, it does not lay focus on the day-to-day financial problems of the organization. That means the financial management part was considered, or the financial problems were considered as problems if they needed huge amount of fund, and that too for longer duration. Day-to-day financial problems, day-to-day management of funds, that we understand today as cash management, or day-to-day operational management of fund, that was not taken care. So ultimately, traditional approach of finance, initially used in 1920s and 30s, focus basically on corporate finance. Finance is just required for corporate purpose. Manager or the head or the owner just focus on the procurement of fund. Terms and conditions were negotiated but not taken care much. The allocation of resources, the day-to-day management of funds, nothing was taken care of. So traditional approach to finance, as we understand, is a poor approach to finance, and hence it was not accepted. So what came next is the modern approach to finance. Modern approach to finance, the approach to finance which we understand in present context. And what it understands, it takes finance into broader context. It views finance function in broader sense. It is not just procurement of fund, it is more than that. Procurement, utilization, both. And it is not just for long term purpose, it is for long term as well as short term purpose. Okay, for both the purposes. So modern approach to finance views finance function in broader sense. It includes both raising of funds as well as their effective utilization under the purview of finance. But why effective utilization? Because raising of funds involve cost. Whatever, if we raise through loans, or if in broader term, if we raise through different debts, it also has cost. And if we raise through equity, it also has cost. The finance function does not stop only by finding the sources, raising enough funds, but their proper utilization is also to be considered. So finance function, according to this approach, covers a broader detail, and that includes step-by-step process, starting with the financial planning part. How much finance is required, for what duration it is required, which department requires which, how much finance, what are the different sources from which finance can be raised, and then the cost associated with each source, and then actually raising the funds, allocation of the funds where they are needed. Then after allocation, keeping a check, that is keeping a financial control, whether they are effectively utilized or not utilized. So modern approach to finance, if we just summarize it, it considers the three basic management decisions. And those decisions are investment decisions, financing decisions, and dividend decision within the scope of finance function. This modern approach of finance is valid date. So next, what we are going to talk about is functions of finance. Broadly, as we understood from the modern approach to finance, that broadly there are three decisions a manager has to take in financial management aspect. One is investment decision, another one is finance decision, and third is dividend policy decision. Here it should be taken care that these are the three main functions and they are not the only functions. There are other functions as well, like asset allocation decision, which is not included right now. So students while studying should read through different books, should discuss and find out what are the other functions of finance. They should note it down in their copies. First, we'll consider the investment decisions, the most important of the three decisions. So investment decisions considers what? Investment decisions consider what is the optimal firm size. Okay, before I start discussing each of these 3 points, I should make it clear to you that investment decisions are taken by profit making organizations. That means they should have enough funds to invest. Okay, they are growing organizations, they are profit making organizations, they have money to invest. Fine, they have surplus money. So investment decision in layman terms is considered with what? It is considered with the utilization of that fund. So first, how money can be utilized is, first an organization should know what is the optimal firm size. What does optimal firm size mean here? Optimal firm size mean what is the optimal capital structure here? That means, is the organization having appropriate debt equity ratio? Is the organization having more of debt, less of equity, or more of equity, less of debt? Whatever be the case, is the firm size optimal? And if it is not, then the first investment should be within the organization. That means how? If you are having more of debt in the organization, you should retire debt. Retire debt means you should pay it back. If your organization has taken loan from SBI Bank, suppose of 1 lakh rupees, and if you have surplus rupees or surplus profit, then what you should do? You should retire it. You should pay it back. And if you have more of shareholding, like your shareholding is spread now, you want to consolidate it, what you can do? You can go for buyback offer of shares. So the first thing in investment decision, look inside. That is your firm having optimal firm size? If not, then first investment should be within the organization. Okay, next, other investment decisions can be acquiring assets outside the organization. Okay, that means what? Acquiring assets. Should I go for acquiring of physical assets or real asset, land, building, machinery, that kind of thing? Or should I acquire the share of other organization? Or it can be related to mergers, acquisitions, okay, or buyback of something, or buying of purchase of brand or copyright. That way, the specific asset that should be acquired, and it is an investment. Your organization is going to flourish further. The third important decision related to investment is what assets should be reduced or eliminated. If you feel there are certain assets which are of not use, there may be technological obsolescence. Your organization may, your plant may be needing modernization or obsolete things. So you should retire them. You should just change them and the funds can be utilized. So the first of the important decision is investment decisions, wherein what is the optimal size of the firm, the assets acquired, and eliminated decisions they are to be taken. Okay. Then we'll move forward to the financing decision. Financing decisions, taking finances. Okay. Taking finances means what? Taking money for the business. Okay. So it determines how the assets left inside of the balance sheets, they will be financed. What are the sources from which you're going to obtain finances for the organization? Okay. So first, what should be understood on the point of organization is what is the type of best type of financing mix. Should I go for 100% debt? Should I go for 100% equity? Or 70-30 ratio is good, or 50-50 ratio is good? So what I need to understand is best type of financing. Best type of financing actually varies from industry to industry. For some of the industries, a higher debt equity ratio is good. For some it is good, some lesser amount. Like for services industry, you need 1:1 ratio for debt and equity. So first one should identify which type of financing is best. Fine. And then what is the best financing? Actually, I've covered both the things, which type of financing and financing mix. Mix here, what you should understand is, suppose you have chosen debt as the best financing mix, best source of financing, then financing mix can be debt, how much loan you should take, how much debentures you should issue, that is the financing mix. If I go for equity, ordinary preference shares, that includes the financing mix. Then the third important part of financing decision is how will these funds be physically acquired? The actual action plan that should be taken. How will the funds be physically acquired? How you're going to process the entire thing? It's not just in books. It is actually implementation of the complete process. Suppose you're going for issue of equity, then who are going to be your partners, banks, stockbroking firms. So financing decision basically deals with the best type of financing mix, the combination of debt and equity, or in layman's term, from what all sources the funds needed for the organization will be raised. The third decision which I'm going to talk about is the dividend decision. The third important decision which a manager, as per the modern approach, has to take in the organization is dividend decision. Dividends can be paid if the company is earning profits. So company has to decide what is the best dividend policy. Like dividend policy, what does it include? It includes whether this year we should pay dividend or not. We are earning profits, but we may pay dividends or we may not pay dividends. Why we may not pay dividends? Because we want to reinvest in business. So the first important aspect of dividend policy is to decide whether or not to pay dividends. And then second aspect is, yes, if I have decided to pay dividends, then what should be my dividend payout ratio? Whether it should be 10%, 20%, 30%, or if I talk about in rupee terms, how much dividend in terms of rupee I should pay, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees. That is totally depends upon the organization pattern it follows. The pattern it follows means the pattern should come up from the industry pattern, what they are doing, what your competitors are doing, what benchmark is doing. One more thing has to be considered in dividend decision is in what form the dividend should be paid. Like it should be cash dividend or it should be in form of bonus dividends. This company has to decide. Okay. Then the very important thing which has to be considered is how many times dividend can be paid. How many times? Once in a year, annual dividend. Twice a year, half yearly dividend. In every quarter, quarterly dividend. Sometimes there may be special dividends. Sometimes there may be repetitive dividends. So the company has to take decision regarding dividend, that whether company has to pay dividend this year or defer it, in what form it should pay, how much it should pay, the ideal dividend payout ratio, and then the actual dividend distribution part. So today what we have understood is the traditional approach to finance, the modern approach to finance. Traditional approach is considered as corporate approach to finance or financial management. It was a narrower looking approach. It just focused on the owner of the organization, head of the organization, making decisions for the finances. Second is the modern approach to finance, wherein the procurement and allocation, both part of the funds are considered, effective utilization, proper screening of different sources of fund is done, and then actual decision is made. And modern approach to finance function, actually it involves three kind of decision: investment decision, financing decision, and dividend decision. Here the student can see different organizations or different firms of an industry to understand their dividend patterns. Like if we see Reliance Industries, you can go to moneycontrol.com and see the details of the dividend distribution. You'll come up with the interactive charts wherein they'll show at different points of time how much dividend is paid and in what form it is paid. Same you can done for any other organization. For more practical understanding, what you can do is to have a comparative analysis amongst different firms. This would add on to your knowledge and improve your practical understanding of the subject. Similarly, you can make notes or you can study different cases available regarding the best type of financing mix. And here we should understand that modern approach to finance is not only related to corporate finance, but it is also related to personal finance. One should understand that the modern approach to finance also considers the personal finance, that is the financial planning for an individual, which includes short-term, medium-term, long-term planning, and the types of financial instruments which an individual can invest in. But what we understand is because of the syllabus of different universities, the financial management subject is studied broadly in context of corporate finance only, that is in organizational context. So what we should take care here is that to increase our understanding, we should focus on the personal side of finance as well. So in the further classes, we'll discuss more about the finance function. And as I talked earlier, apart from the free decision, there is another decision called as asset management decision. For your benefit, I have added it here. What asset management decisions relate to? It relates to the managing of assets efficiently by the organization. Okay, how it is what assets are understood here? Assets include current assets as well as long-term assets or fixed assets. So manager has varying degrees of operating responsibility over the assets. Manager has to manage both current and fixed assets. So decisions regarding proper utilization of current assets comes under your working capital management aspect, and long-term or fixed asset management or long-term asset management decisions, they are taken under different head. Okay, so in the next class we'll study more about the other concepts of finance. Till that time, keep studying.